கமாண்டர் சார்பாக உங்கள் அனைவரையும் மகிழ்ச்சியுடன் வரவேற்கிறேன். இன்று மத்திய தொழில் பாதுகாப்பு படையின் உதவி கமாண்டர் உயர் திரு பிரபாத் ரஞ்சன் மிஸ்ரா அவர்கள் விமான போக்குவரத்து பாதுகாப்பு என்ற தலைப்பில் பேச வந்துள்ளார். இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியை தமிழ்தாய் வாழ்த்துடன் துவங்குவோம். அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்குமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன்.
He is a man of few words and more actions. You can always see him around the college, motivating students and faculty, bringing the best out of them. After his arrival in our college, a stream of activities, research and cultural activities have taken the best shape. More and more PhDs publications, skill development, entrepreneurship and enriching our college. May I invite our Dean, Dr. A. Prabhaharan, who is the founder, man behind the Innovation Incubator, to welcome the gathering.
எங்கள் வாழ்வும் எங்கள் வளமும் மங்காத தமிழ் என்று சங்கே முழங்கு. தமிழ் தாய்க்கும் உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என் முதற்கண் வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். Respected President of our college, Engineer Pon Balasubramanian, Secretary of our college, Thiru Pon Ravichandran, Speaker for today's Innovation Incubator organized Aviation Security, Thiru Prabhat Ranjan Mishra, Deputy Commandant, Central Industrial Security Force, and Chief Airport Security Officer, Trishapalli Airport, members of faculty, and our dear students. It's my great pleasure to stand before you and welcome this eminent speaker today. Mr. Prabhat Ranjan Mishra has completed his MA in Economics from the Patna University, Bihar, and after that he joined the Central Industrial Security Force, which has been the pioneering security provider and nation keeper for our country. Central Industrial Security Force has got 1,80,000 soldiers in its command, safeguarding our airports, seaports, thermal power stations, nuclear power stations. Sir, it's a great pleasure and privilege for us to have you today this morning. Without Central Industrial Security Force, our country may not have this much development, especially the industrial development, the safeguarding of the nuclear plant seaport. Mr. Mishra not only has this long experience in providing security to our national assets, but he also served in the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in Haiti in Caribbean land. When he was posted in the United Nations Peacekeeping Force in Haiti in 2009-2010, he had saved more than 30 lakhs of Haiti citizens from the earthquake. He was awarded Director General of CISF Commendation Medal and certificate for this wonderful service. And I think because of this kind of a selfless service of the CISF, we are all sleeping peacefully. They may not sleep, but we sleep peacefully because of people like Mr. Prabhat Ranjan Mishra. You know very well, when our country develops, there are people who are very jealous. Our neighbors are jealous of our development. Our far away people are very jealous about our development. So it is not important if we develop. It is very important we safeguard that kind of a development. The Central Industrial Security Force Deputy Commandant, Mr. Prabhat Ranjan Mishra, safeguards our national assets. Airport is one of the important places. It's an important place because from Trichy to Delhi, the national capital, it is more than 2,400 kilometers. To travel 2,400 kilometers, if you go by train, it will take 40 hours. If you go by bus, it will take 3 days. So, airport, air transport will give us easy way of going. Within 2.5 hours, 3 hours, we can reach Delhi. To have that kind of infrastructure, we need people like Mr. Prabhat Ranjan Mishra. I'm very thankful, sir, you are here to talk about this aviation security. Aviation security is very important because you know very well a lot of technology is coming up to safeguard us. Despite the technology, we need manpower. So there should be emotional connectivity between the citizens and the security people. From the public to the VIPs, the CSF acts as a good Samaritan and they gave them a smiley service. I have seen many security people, police people, national security guards, but CSF is well trained, they are very polite, they are very humble, and we salute your services, sir, and we are happy you are here. And I take this opportunity to welcome you all, especially our college president, Engineer Pon Balasubramanian, who has been a big support and who is a big motivator for all of us to start this kind of activities. You know, today only our country is talking about innovation. Our college has been innovator for last 50 years. And to start this innovation incubator 6 years back, our president, Engineer Pon Balasubramanian, has been a big support for us. Thank you, sir, and we welcome you all on behalf of this innovation incubator. Our secretary, Pon Ravichandran, has been a big encourager, supporter, and inspirer for infrastructure development. We are all sitting in this pretty hall because of our secretary's tireless efforts to build this infrastructures. Thank you, sir, for giving us wonderful infrastructure in this rural area. I take this opportunity to welcome faculty members of our College of Education, Professor R. Kannadasan, Professor S. Anand Kumar, Professor Geeta Mary Mohan, Professor T. Parmeshwari, and the students of our PG program and the students of BA College. Thank you once again for this opportunity.
Engineer Pon Balasubramanian, our college president, has taken our college to the new heights. Today, more than 5,000 students are pursuing from UG to PhD courses. Hi-Fi technological management of the college has been put in place due to his continuous efforts. May I invite our college president, Engineer Pon Balasubramanian, to offer felicitations.
Secretary of our college, Pon Ravichandran. Chief guest of today's function, Deputy Commandant of Central Security Forces, Trichy Airport, Mr. Prabhat Ranjan Mishra, Dean Dr. Prabhakaran, who is heading the Innovation Incubator, faculty members from Education, College of Education, and my dear students. I am really happy to have the Chief Security Officer, Deputy Commandant of Trichy Airport here to speak about the security issues in aviation industry. Sir is from UP, Uttar Pradesh. He has come all the way and he is serving our Trichy Airport now. As I was mentioning you earlier, the benefit of the human life is to serve others. You all teach, or you are all going to be teachers. Your main motive is to serve others. Not in the process, you may make some money. You may also give some money for the benefit of others. But your aim should not be living the life only for making money. That should not be your aim. Your aim in life is to motivate as many students, as many people in and around in your family, even your friends, relatives, everybody. You should motivate them, give them directions, tell them what they can do. Give them courage, give them the confidence that they can do if they think. So that confidence you should give, and we have a man of that caliber. He had saved lakhs and lakhs of people in Haiti when the island struck with a major earthquake. He had been serving various other organizations right from Tripura, the northeast border, Calcutta, to now Tirupati and Calicut and now Trichy. So he had been serving others. See, all his life he has dedicated himself. We must salute such officers who are in front of us, without whose dedication we will not definitely have a peaceful life here. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation amidst your busy schedule. I know sparing half a day time away from the airport. You know now so many aircrafts are coming and going, so many politically important and higher officials are coming, and your presence there is a must, I know. And in spite of all these commitments, you have taken time off to visit this village and to encourage our students to serve the country. I really appreciate you for this. I also appreciate our Dean for making such wonderful people. Like, see, he was instrumental in bringing our Abdul Kalam here in our campus. So such eminent personalities he is bringing here to motivate you all. You should learn, you should see them as a role model, and you should learn from them how they have come up in life. And so we should dedicate ourselves for the development of the nation and the development of the people, which definitely leads to the nation. So with these few words, I congratulate all of you, wish you all the very best and have a bright future. With these few words, I end my speech. Thank you very much.
Respected President of our College Committee, Engineer Pon Balasubramanian, Chief Guest, Mr. Prabhat Ranjan Mishra, Deputy Commandant CISF, Trichy Airport, Dean Dr. Prabhakaran, staff members of the College of Education, students. Good morning to you all. So, innovate or perish. That is the motto. இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற காலகட்டத்தில் you have to change, you have to innovate. You cannot keep on doing what others are doing. You have to do something different. It has to be innovative. When you follow somebody, when you go behind somebody, you become a follower. When you go on your own, you make a new road. You charter into an unknown territory and you make your own road and people will start following you. So which one you want? You want to follow somebody or you want to make people follow you? I can't hear. All of you sleeping in the morning? No? Okay. So it is very important for you to make a change. As our President said, money is incidental. Money is incidental. Because you are winning, money will automatically come. So all that matters is to win. How to win? To make a change. You should make a change not only in your life, in everybody's life you are touching. You take our chief guest today, he has touched hundreds and thousands of people's lives. He had been in a faraway land in America, in an island called Haiti, where he had saved so many hundreds and thousands of people. He has touched their lives by change. So all of you have to create change in and around you, people who are around you, so that for betterment. They should be what they are today, tomorrow they should be better. So what can you do to improve their life? If you keep thinking like this, definitely you will be very successful and money will incidentally come. Money is automatic. Money is not a result of your hard work. Money is a result of if you are making change for the positive, for the people around you, for the community around you, for the society around you, for the students around you, money and fame will automatically follow you. You don't need to follow money. Money is like water. It will always find lower ground. தண்ணி மேல இருந்து ஊத்துனா கீழ வந்துருது இல்லையா? மேலே நிக்குமா இல்ல மேல போகுமா? கீழ போகுமா? கீழ தான் வரும் இல்லீங்களா? அது மாதிரி if you contribute yourself, money will automatically come to you. You don't need to run behind money. Okay? So with these few words, I wish you all the very best. I congratulate Dr. Prabhakaran for organizing such interesting events and bringing in such eminent people to give you exposure. I request you all to make use of such ideas and people who give you insights which you cannot. You cannot go all the way to America and get the knowledge what Sir has attained. He is here to share such thoughts with you so that you will be able to benefit out of it. So make the best use of such programs and all the best to you. Good luck. Thank you.
Now it is the time to hear from our speaker, Thiru Prabhat Ranjan Mishra, Deputy Commandant and the Chief Security Officer.
Good morning to all. Good morning, sir. You have taken your breakfast? Yes, sir. Then roof should blow up. Okay. Engineer Professor Balasubramanian, President of Nehru Memorial College, Sri Pon Ravichandran, Secretary of the College, Dr. A.R. Pon Periyaswamy, Principal, Dr. A. Prabhakaran, Dean of the College, faculty members and dear young students. I am glad to be a speaker in this innovative incubator of NMC. I have heard about NMC which has introduced BSc Computer Science nearly 30 years ago. It is the college who started it first in South Asia. It gives us immense pleasure. But in a remote location that tells about the vision of the person who ever started the college. And MSc Data Science a year back. I congratulate all those in the management, faculty, staff and students for building this nation through qualitative higher education. Today I will brief you about aviation security. As you know, right from childhood we all see the aircraft flying through. Right, everybody, whether from lower part of society or higher part of society, everybody sees the aircraft. When we are in home or playing in the ground, we see the aircraft is flying through. Everybody wants to fly. Somebody by fortune flies in very early age, somebody flies later stage. But nowadays aviation is a field like that. Everybody, my sound is not. It is okay, na? Right? So now everybody can fly. Now aviation has become a very common feature. Very common feature. But only thing we are not aware. We all are not aware. Now if you book flight ticket 3-4 months back, you will get cheaper than AC 3 here. So everybody can fly now. So don't think now aviation is thanks to Captain Gopinath who have started Deccan Air Energy 2005-06 that brought everybody for flight movement. Now our PS vision is also there that person wearing Hawaii chappal should also fly in the aircraft. This is our Prime Minister's vision. That's why they have started Udan scheme. Udan, all the regional airports, the smaller airports like in Tamil Nadu, Salem Airport and Tuticorin Airport has started functioning. So government will give the subsidy. Flight fare will be 2,500 only for a smaller airport. Now I will give some insight about aviation security. It is not very simple thing like bus operation and train operation. Aviation security is not like that. Our watchdog is international organization that is called International Civil Aviation Organization that's headquarters in Montreal, Canada. And all the rules and regulations for every country is being made by the ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization. And every member country, nowadays I think 191 or 71 countries there, member countries, they have to follow it. They have made some like a standard practices and recommended practices that we will see later. Now next slide. Back. See, this is the map of the airport. I will show you Trichy Airport also. Pointer? Okay, no issue. So, this is the operational area where movement of the aircraft is there. That is called the operational area. This aircraft is being parked, and this is the tarmac. Where aircraft is parked, that area is called tarmac. This is technical term. This is the terminal building, and this is the city side of the airport. This is the city side. Back. Yes. This is the tarmac where aircraft is parked. This is called the tarmac or apron. This is the tarmac or apron. Here aircraft is being parked. When aircraft comes, it is parked here. Passenger board in this flight. The D board, baggage loading, cargo loading, everything is done here only. And this is the okay. No, it's fine. Not touch. So this is the passenger terminal building. You go inside, our airlines office is there. Check-in formality is being done here, and all security procedures is being followed here. And this is city side where you come. This area is free. That is called it is city side. Here entry is not restricted. Anybody can come. From terminal building, right from the gate, it is called restricted area. You need to have some document to enter inside the terminal building. Like you should have some authority letter, like pass or ticket or anything. Some document is required. Then only you can enter inside the terminal building. But the case is not there in America. I have visited mostly 15-20 countries and I have seen the airport. And John F. Kennedy Airport, that is the most sensitive airport. Anybody can come up to the security point. There is no checking. Visitor checking or ticket checking is not there at the gate like India. Anybody can come up to the security checkpoint. Anybody, that is free. But nobody comes. They don't believe in physical security measures. They believe in, instrumental system. They have very good CCTV footage and all those electronic gadgets. In India, generally we call passengers 3 hours before for international flight and 90 minutes before for domestic flight. But in Israel, they call Israeli security is the best. They call the passenger 6 hours before. And they said that threat is not an object. If Professor Pravaran is carrying one, he is traveling with his wife and children, he is carrying one knife, they will interrogate him for 6 hours, or 5 hours, or 4 hours. And he says that knife is not the threat is the person. If some innocent people is carrying a knife, he is not the threat. But if somebody is, this punch also, this is the threat. He can make somebody hostage there. So Israeli system is very different, but we cannot follow. So they have very limited airport, population is very less. But in India, we have huge manpower. So every day Trichy airport, 2,500 passenger is traveling, departure, and 2,500 arrival. In seasons it goes to 3,000. This airport was built in 2009. I will show you the figure also. Next. We will see, I have tried to make presentation for you on his types of aviation. We will see how many types of aviation is there, which organizations are there internationally and nationally, essential feature of airports, what is the act of unlawful interference. This is technical word. Any activity done in respect of the crime, in respect of aviation, is called unlawful interference with civil aviation operations. This is brief history of hijacks. When first hijack occurred in the world and in India, I will tell you about that. Then other agencies working at the airport. Airport is very complicated thing. Not only CISF, not only the Airport Authority of India or airlines is there. There are many agencies. I will discuss briefly. Measures to counter unlawful interference. What are the measures? How we can counter? If some terrorist attack, what measures we have taken to counter that? That we will discuss. And hijack aircraft and situation, our preparedness, that we call contingency plan. If some flight is hijacked and lands from some other, what contingency plan we have? And then some security equipment which are being used at airports, we will show you. Next. Aviation is very broad. It is two types of aviation, civil aviation and military aviation. Civil aviation is that we general people fly, that is called the civil aviation, and military aviation is for the military person only, defense personnel only. Under civil aviation, three types of aviation is there. That is called commercial, that now airlines they are doing the business. We travel in the commercial aircraft. General aviation. General aviation means except commercial, all like suppose politicians they come for election or something like that. They call it general aviation. And under general aviation it comes corporate aviation also. Like all the big people like Ambani's, Adani's, they have their own aircraft. That is called corporate aviation. And some aerial work, that is a specialized services, like if runway is constructed, every year some team will come and they will inspect for alignment of instrumental landing system and everything. They are called aerial work, the specialized services. Next. If you have any doubt, any question, anytime, you can ask me anytime. Don't wait to finish the topic. If you ask in Tamil, somebody will translate and they will tell you. They will tell me, I will clear it. So don't. If any query is there, don't suppress it. Ask me immediately. Next. What are the organizations? International and domestic organization in aviation. The prime organization is International Civil Aviation Organization, that is called ICAO. Its headquarters is in Montreal, Canada. This is the agency which makes the rule and everything for all countries, everybody. He makes the rule and you have to follow the rules of ICAO. They are member nations, they are called states in document, and currently 191 members are the contracting state. Total 191 countries are member of ICAO. International Air Transport Association, this is Association of Airport Operator. Airport Operator means Airport Authority of India or private like GMR, GVK. This is Association of Airline Operator, like all the airlines. All the airlines of the world, they are member of ITA. Shortly we call it ITA. There are 240 members currently. 240 airlines are connected with ITA. Airport Council International, ACI. This is the agency of airport operator. There are many operators. In our country mostly we have approximately 125 airports in our country. Out of which 93 is operational. Out of which 25 is international airport, rest of the domestic airport. So all the airport operators, they are member of Airport Council International. And last year in 2016, in Airport Council International survey, CISF was provided the best security services in the world in all 240 countries. There are 597 members. In all 597, CISF security was provided, declared the best. In India, we have BCS. We call it BCS, Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. That is the premier agency for. We work on behalf of the BCS only. He issues the guidelines, he issues the circulars, he issues makes the rule. Everything BCS makes the rule. We are representative of BCS here. And Director General of DGCA, Director General of Civil Aviation. They mostly their role is of safety, like licensing of pilot, inspection of aircraft, airworthiness of aircraft. All these parts are taken care by Director General of Civil Aviation. This is called DGCA. Generally, IAS or IPS officer head these organizations, BCS or DGCA. It is headed by IAS or IPS. Next. Now, what are the essential features of the airport? Passenger terminal and building. One more you can open. You minimize it. Minimize it. Minimize it. Another presentation. You minimize it. So both we can open anytime. No, another one. On Trichy. Trichy airport is there. If you see, then only you will better understand. Otherwise, in theory, you cannot understand. Presentation of Trichy airport. This is the Trichy airport, like this is passenger terminal building. Next slide. Okay, first slide on. First slide. No, that figure photo only. This is the passenger terminal building. The facility required for the passenger, first thing, every passenger they pay something for facilities, 240 rupees or 330 rupees, or like IGI airport they charge 850 rupees for PSF, passenger service fee. Whatever you are using at the airport, you are paying for that. Nothing is free. Don't think that airport operators they are providing chairs and water and air condition. Everything is being charged from you only. So that is called PSF. Earlier. Next. So then both we can open at time now. You can open now. Another presentation. Apron. Like what is apron? Next one presentation. Trichy airport. Trichy airport. This one. Next. See, this is Trichy airport. Aerial view of the Trichy airport. This is the city side. You come at the airport. This is the terminal building, passenger terminal building. This is the old airport, old terminal building. These are called aero bridges from aircraft is being parked. This is the apron area, and this is called the two roads you are seeing. This is called the taxiway. After landing the aircraft, it taxis. This area is called taxiway. This is the apron, where aircraft stands for loading of cargo, unloading of passenger, loading of passenger. This is called apron. Apron or tarmac. Then runway and taxiway. Runway is also there in that slide. Runway also again previous one. No, previous slide. Okay. This is the runway. Next. This is the runway. This road what you are seeing now, this is called the runway. Here aircraft land and take off. This is true for Trichy airport, not Japan. This is called the runway. The length of Trichy runway is 2,444 meters, 2.4 kilometers. We need to have a big runway, but because of land acquisition, we are not able to expand it. For bigger aircraft like 777, 747, passenger capacity is 400. So we need runway at least 3,200 kilometers, 3,200 meters. This runway is quite small. This is the runway. Flight lands here. It comes at the taxiway. Through taxiway, it comes at the apron and it is being parked here. After that, again it goes through the taxiway. It comes at the runway and it takes off. Back. Yeah. Apron, taxiway, aero bridges, that extended portion connected with the airport, that connect airport with the aircraft is called the aero bridges. Then cargo complex, now cargo is also very big business. From Trichy airport every day 5 ton or 6 ton cargo is going to Singapore and Malaysia and Gulf countries. Mainly it is vegetables. Because most of the Tamilians are there in Kuala Lumpur and Singapore. So curry leaves, drumsticks and all vegetables are going to every day 5 ton it is going. Then ATC and ATS staff. ATC means air traffic control. It does the same work as the traffic constables does at the road. The same is the work of the ATC officers. Fuel pump, there are 3 fuel pumps at Trichy airport. It is Indian Oil, IOC and BPCL. Ground handling workshops are there. Catering complexes is there. Here it is catering complex is not located at the airport, it comes from far. Bridge Residency Hotel. Then aircraft maintenance hangar, it is not there at Trichy airport, it is in Chennai and bigger airport. And administrative building, from where all the operations administrative issues are being taken. Next. This is classification of the airports. We have 16 normal airports, 56 sensitive airport and 26 hypersensitive airport. There are different security measures for threat category, and IB decides, every year one committee is set and they decide that which airport is hypersensitive, normal or sensitive. Now what is hijacking? Our prime duty is to stop hijacking. Any security agency working at the airport, our main task is to stop the hijacking. Then what is hijacking? Whoever on board an aircraft in flight is also technical word. It means when all the door is closed, when all the passenger boards and door is closed, the flight is called the in-flight condition. By force, threat of force and any other form of intimidation, seizure or exercise control of the aircraft. If somebody takes control of the aircraft in flight, it is called the hijacking of the aircraft. Whether it is on the ground also. If it is parked at the Trichy airport, door is closed, flight is in flight and somebody takes the control, it will be called that the flight has been hijacked. And who tries to attempt any of the act? If you succeeded, if you try also, it comes under hijacking. And a punishment regarding any of the act for the hijacking is life imprisonment. Any act is life imprisonment. These are the unlawful interference what can be done, like hijacking, unlawful seizure of aircraft on the ground, like somebody comes with arm and takes control of the aircraft. That you release my leader, you give me this much of money, you do something like that, then only we will release the aircraft. This is called unlawful seizure of the aircraft on ground. This is hostage taking. Somebody in the aircraft, some VIP is there to take hostage, make him hostage. This is called. Then forcible intrusion. You enter inside the aircraft with weapon. Introduction of the weapon. If inside the flight you carried some weapon, you threaten somebody. That is introduction of weapon. And communication of the false information. If you communicate something false, like your flight in the aircraft, and you communicate that this flight will crash after half an hour, this is also amount to unlawful interference with civil aviation, and you may get life imprisonment for that. Next. Now that is traditional threat, that is for long, when civil aviation has started, this is from that time only. Now there are some emerging threat also, or new threat, that is biological and chemical attack. If you are flying through somewhere, somebody will attack with biological and chemical weapons. Like we have seen in Syria, many chemical weapons have been used on the innocent people. Fidayeen attack. You can stop the people who have fear of death. Fidayeen is, I am ready to blow myself. Then nobody can stop him. It is very difficult to stop Fidayeen. And this is most deadly weapon. Most deadly weapon. If I have put explosive myself, I am ready to die, nobody can stop. Then cyber attacks. If somebody hijacks the sites of the airlines of Airport Authority of India, all the flight will collapse. Everything is online nowadays. Not a single aircraft will open to will operate if they hijack. Massacres at airport. If somebody comes at airport, recently you have seen, I don't know if somebody is reading newspaper, at Brussels airport, Indian aircraft was also there, Jet Airways. 2 criminals enter inside the airport and then indiscriminately fired. 10-15 people died. 2 Jet Airways crew also they were injured. So this incident also happened. Attempt to shoot down AC with anti-aircraft gun. Militants have anti-aircraft gun. For through normal gun, you cannot shoot the aircraft. It will not come down. There are a specialist gun that is called anti-aircraft gun. You can blow aircraft with that gun. Attempts to shoot down aircraft in the ground to air attack at the aircraft. There are weapons. You can from ground here. I am sitting here only, but I can shoot the aircraft. 35,000 at height. So these are the weapons. And these are the latest threats. Then it comes when first hijacking occurred. In 1931, Peru, an American country, first hijacking occurred in 1931. First incident of hijacking, which was reported. We say it reported. Many hijacking had done, which was not reported. This is the first hijacking in the world in 1931 in Peru. And this hijacking was done by the leader of opposition to drop pamphlet in against the government. This hijacking was not done for any political other reason, but to drop the leaflet. In 1945 to 1921, hijacked 18 to escape to East Europe. And 1958 to 1961, Cuba was focused. In 1969, total 81 hijacking take place. Out of 89, 69 was in Cuba. That is North American country, very near to Miami, Florida. So total 69. It is called the golden year for hijacking. Total 69 hijacking alone in a country called Cuba, very small country, very small country. Total 69 hijacking. Luckily in India we started a little late. So first hijacking was in 1971. It was Indian Fokker flight, fancy Fokker flight we called it. It was going from Delhi to Srinagar to Jammu. This flight was diverted to Lahore, Pakistan. The passengers were released and the aircraft was blown. They exploded the aircraft. This was the first reported hijacking in India in 1971. Then 1976, another second hijacking came. That airline from Delhi to Jaipur was taken to Lahore. More than 2 dozen hijacks have taken place in India. Last hijacking was done on 24th of December 1999. The Indian Airlines flight from Kathmandu to Delhi, it was hijacked from Kathmandu, not from India, from Kathmandu. And after that hijacking only, earlier state police, civil police was looking after the security of Indian airport. After this hijacking, government decided to deploy CISF. We are the paramilitary, we don't come under state, we come under the center. So after this hijacking only, Central Cabinet Committee decided to deploy CISF for the security agency for the airport. And out of 125 airports, CISF united 59 airports right now. So this was Delhi to Kathmandu. One person was dead also, an Indian was dead also. And we released $40,400 rupees to that Salahuddin, Sayyid Salahuddin. And their leader, he was captive in India. He was escorted by our minister to Pakistan and he was left. And still we are paying in Kashmir for this. Every day he is operating, he has big terrorist organization and he is doing all mischief in Jammu Kashmir. So one incident we are paying for last 19 years. And I don't know up to which time we will pay. So it is very simple. One plane has been hijacked, but their repercussion is so high that only we can understand because we are facing all these situations. It is very difficult to understand other people. I am just trying to make you understand that we are still paying for 19 years. Next. Then there are some convention and protocols, how a vessel works, the rule were framed depending on the convention. The Chicago Convention 1944, ICAO was established and Annex 17 was formulated. It's called the standard and recommended practices. Every country had to follow standard practices, and recommended practices is it's optional. Like training is recommended practices, but security is a standard practices that comes under Annex 17. Then Tokyo Convention in 1963. In Tokyo Convention, commander of the aircraft was made the supreme commander. If flight is in air, he is the person who will take all the decision. Nobody else can take the decision. If he gets some threat, the flight departed from Trichy to Singapore, and he gets some threat message that there is bomb in the aircraft. Now it is up to pilot whether he lands there, he goes direct, continuing his flight to Singapore, he lands at the nearby airport, or he comes back to Trichy airport. His commander is the whole in charge, or nobody, even government cannot force him. He is the person who can take decision. It was decided in the Tokyo Convention in 1963. Then Hague Convention 1970. Definition of hijacking. Earlier hijacking was not defined. So hijacking was defined in the Hague Convention. Montreal Convention, if hijacking was defined, but other offences related to airport security was not defined. It was defined in Montreal Convention in 1971. Then Montreal Protocol 1988. Any act of violence was defined in Montreal Convention 1988. If somebody attacks at the airport, not in the aircraft also, he will be considered as crime, and he will get life imprisonment for that. Then conventions of marking of plastic explosive. What system we have, everything detects normal explosive. It is very difficult to detect plastic explosive. And nowadays terrorists are taking advantage of that. They use plastic explosive. So government, all the countries have decided to mark the explosive. So it was done in the convention of marking. It was also in Montreal. Montreal is the headquarters of ICAO. Next. Then Indian legislation. What are our rules for our country? It is Tokyo Convention, same Anti-Hijacking Act 1982. Anti-Hijacking Act was made in 1982. Anti-Hijacking Act, it was amended in 1994. Then again it was amended in 2015. Then suppression of unlawful act against safety of the civil aviation 1982, and suppression of the unlawful act against safety of the civil aviation amendment 1994. Recently, Government of India has decided, like you might be aware in 9/11 incident of America. Everybody knows what happened there. 9/11 incident, Twin Towers, Pentagon. Tell me anybody. This is a big incident of aviation. It can change the aviation totally. 3-4 aircraft was hijacked. Earlier it was supposed that aircraft will be hijacked and it will go in another country. They will negotiate. But in that particular incident, aircraft was hijacked and it was used as missile. It was used as missile. An aircraft, bigger aircraft has 60,000 liter of fuel. 60,000 liter. You can imagine if 60,000 liter fuel with such a great speed hits some building, what will happen? You can see, you can search on the net also. Twin Tower 9/11 incident. So 5 aircraft continuously hit the Twin Towers, Pentagon House. That was the safest, considered the safest place in the world. Pentagon House, American Defense Secretariat and everything. So more than 2,000 people died, and nobody imagined that this will happen in America. It is the most powerful and most safe country. America is the most powerful country nowadays also. More than 2,000 people died, 5 aircraft by hijacked, and the hijackers, they get the training for the pilot. We were working for last 5 years. They were trained as pilot, they hijacked the aircraft and they attacked the Twin Towers. Next. Now what are the security measures? What we do at the airport? What duties we do? That is access control. Access control means regulation of the persons and visitors. Like in college also. I don't know what system is here. Somewhere biometric is there, somewhere they ask for your ID card. So whether you are authorized to come inside the college or not. This is called the access control. Access control means allowing eligible people and disallowing non-eligible people. That is called access control. Same with the vehicle. We don't allow all the vehicle inside the operational area. Only vehicles they have passed, that vehicle is allowed to come inside. So access control, anti-hijacking measures, like there are 2 types of security. One security is done by the airline. If you are carrying with your registered baggage, that will be checked by the airlines. and their security. That is called anti-sabotage measures. And what CISF does, he checks your hand access control, we does, and hand baggage and personal frisking is done by the CISF only. We are called ASG, Aviation Security Group. Then packs checking and baggage checking, guarding and patrolling. When an aircraft lands, it is parked there, we have apron guarding. We protect the aircraft with the armed people. Then anti-sabotage measures, we have BDDS team and dog squad. Before operation of each flight, we make all the airport, sanitize the airport by dog squad and BDDS. Then the registered baggage, that is usually done by the airlines, and contingency response. If despite all these things, if something happens, suppose we are sitting here, if some fire occurs here, then what is the plan? Your college might have some contingency plan. We will take this route, we will break this glass, we will take a student from this side, we will assemble in this area. So this is called the contingency plan. And what is the objective of the civil aviation? The objective of the civil aviation security is to safeguard civil aviation operation against any unlawful interference with the civil aviation operation. That is the main aim of civil aviation. Civil aviation is very complex thing. Very complex thing. There are many agencies are involved. Like Trichy Airport only, I will tell you, CISF is there, airport operator is there, that is Airport Authority of India. All the airlines are there, 7 or 8 airlines. Custom is there, immigration is there, plant quarantine is there, airport health services is there, that CITA, that maintain computer services is there, IB is there, ROI is there. All the almost 15 agencies are working at the airport, and you have to work in very coordinated manner. Very coordinated manner. That is the biggest challenge of aviation. Next. See, these are the agencies. CISF, we provide the security. When you enter at the airport, the first person you will meet is the CISF. You will ask for the ticket and your ID card. The first person is the CISF. Then you go to the airline's counter to take your boarding pass. That is called the check-in formality. Then BCS is there. Locally airport BCS is not there. They are at the bigger airports only. They are formulating the law. Then airport authority is there. Local police is there. IB is there. Immigration is there. Custom is there. And some defense establishment is also there. They are also the members of the airport contingency plan. So what duty we do? Our duty is anti-hijacking, intelligence and surveillance, protection and security, and support unit. Main mandate of CISF is 4: anti-hijacking, protection and security, intelligence and surveillance, and support. So we don't only do the security, we have our intelligence system also. If some people is doing some mischief inside the city also, we coordinate and we have some system that we come to know. Recently, we arrested one person from KK Nagar area. He was living there, he was the sleeper cell for the LTT, and he was living there for last 4 years. And he was planning to have some sabotage. So after 4 years he was caught because of the intelligence. Then we have some BDDS equipment also. BDDS detection and disposal squad. Nowadays you can bring some explosive or ID. ID making is very simple. Anybody can make battery, explosive, power source and detonator. You put all these, it become IEDs. So detecting IEDs is the main function. So we have trained BDDS equipment and BDDS person. Nowadays people what we do, if somebody is missing their flight, they make a call that there is bomb at the airport. And they try to delay the flight. Recently in Bangalore airport, one techie was there. He was little bit delayed, husband wife. So they made a call to the airport and this flight, the airport is parked, one bomb is there. But don't make this, you will not be safe. You will be arrested later on. But each and every year, telephone at the airport has caller ID. So your number is placed and whenever you will switch on the phone, you will be arrested, you will be recognized. One person made a call in 2014 or 15 from Dubai that some bomb is there at Trichy airport. We arrested them in 2017. He came back from Dubai after 4 years. Immediately after landing at Chennai airport, he was arrested. So don't do this. You will be arrested and after that your life is spoiled. That is life imprisonment. Handling of the unclaimed, the suspected baggage. You see, it is very simple thing at the bus station and railway stations. Somebody comes, they leave their baggage. At the airport, it is we follow very big process for that. If we see any unattended baggage there, we cordon that area. Practically it should be done with the sand baggage, but we don't do the sand baggage, we do it with rope. Our people take the rope, they carry always the rope, and we sanitize the area and we evacuate the passenger from that area calmly so that they are not panicked. Otherwise the stampede will be there. So they are asked to evacuate the area at the safe place, and we call our VDDS team. Dog squad is always there at the airport. Only the first we get checking from the dog squad. If he confirms that there is explosive, we call the VDDS team. He will take the baggage. There is defined area at the airport. He will take the baggage to that area and he will explode. If explosive is there, he will explode. Otherwise, he will defuse there only. So this much. It takes 2 hours. If you leave the baggage at the airport at any point of time, it takes 2 hours for me to settle down. So don't leave the baggage. So we request people not to leave the baggage. Otherwise, it will be disposed. Otherwise, it will be deposited. At any point of time, don't leave your baggage at the airport. And provide training to the airport security and employee of other agencies recognize IG, dangerous goods and unauthorized. We provide training to other agencies also that we are expert in security, but other agencies are not expert. So we provide training to them also. Next. Then airlines also, they have also security. They do the checking of the registered baggage. That is called anti-sabotage measure. There are 2 types of baggage if you are carrying. One is a check-in luggage, one is hand luggage. So check-in luggage is being checked by the airline. There is baggage identification and reconciliation. They can reconcile. If there are 124 passengers, they have checked in with 25 baggage, whether 25 baggage has been loaded or not. If somebody wishes to come down after security check, their baggage will be offloaded. So they reconcile it. After going in the flight also, they reconcile it. Then surveillance of the baggage, access control to the aircraft, cargo security, cargo is being done by the airline. And then catering security of the aircraft and secondary ladder point checking. During red alert period, after checking also, secondary checking is also there. Before flying, you are boarding the aircraft, another checking will be there, that is by the airline. Then role of different agencies, like PCS, I will not go in detail. This is the premier agency, we take the rule, planning, implementation, training, advising, everything PCS does. The Airport Authority of India, this is important for us as a passenger because they provide all the infrastructure like administration, maintenance, communication, all the facilities, perimeter, fencing, signboards, vehicle pass permits, sale of digital tickets, coordinating job like other meetings are there regularly. Security committee meeting is there at the airport. Some meeting is monthly, some is bi-monthly, some is quarterly. They have to coordinate. They work as a coordinator for all these things. Then police. We are from center and airport is in the state. So our mandate is not to maintain the law. Our mandate is to maintain the order and peace at the airport. Law is with the state police only. If we arrest somebody, we have to hand over it to the state police. So law and order, traffic safety and VVIP movement. Our responsibility is up to the terminal building. Once they come out, the authority of the state police starts. They will escort and they will provide the security. Next. Immigration. If you are flying abroad, your documents, everything will be checked by the immigration. Then only you are allowed to fly. And when you are coming back also, your document will be checked. Customs. If you are importing something from foreign countries, you are taking something, this is the agency who regulate the things. Then IB is also there, intelligence bureau, for intelligence collection. Surveillance. NSG, if some hijack happens, nobody except NSG that you might have heard as Black Cat Commandos, they are only authorized to have armed intervention inside the aircraft. Nobody else is authorized to have armed intervention. I am also not authorized. I am having quick commandos, they are deployed round the clock. But if some flight is hijacked, my duty will be to safeguard passengers and aircraft. I cannot enter inside the aircraft. The energy will come from Delhi. One aircraft is always parked at the Delhi airport. If that aircraft is not there, any aircraft which is lying there, they will take that aircraft. That is government mandate. And within 3 hours, they have to reach this place. Any place in the country. Then there are different committees at different levels, like airport level. Airport committee is there. We have training this idea. No. airport level aeroplane committee is there. So if some flight is hijacked or some hijacked flight lands here, we start the proceedings at the airport level. And after that, cabinet committee is there. Cabinet committee. No. Cabinet committee is there. We take guidance from the cabinet committee. We cannot take any decision. We just engage the hijacker. Then COSA is there, committee of secretaries. After that, central committee, cabinet committee on security is there, headed by Prime Minister. These are the committee. Aerodrome committee, central committee, committees of secretaries on aircraft hijack, and cabinet committee on security. That is the apex body, cabinet committee. Prime Minister is head. See, Prime Minister is head, and other members are Defense Minister, Home Minister, External Affairs Minister, Civil Aviation Minister, Security Advisor, the Army Chief. All these are very high level committees. Then COSA, all the secretaries are the members. All the secretaries. Then all the joint secretary level, mid-level officers are the members. At airport level, we are the member. Like here, Police Commissioner of Tiruchirappalli is the chairman of that, and I am also the member. Now, what equipment we use for the security? That will show. See, this is X-ray baggage inspection system. We call it XBIS. What you are carrying in your bag, everything is visible here. The screener will be sitting there, this side or this side the screen. Here the screen is here. You see the image. Whatever you are carrying there, it will come here. So, even knife, blade, matchbox, lighter, everything comes here. Whatever you are carrying. Generally, people are not aware that this is even a small scissor, hostage cutting scissor is not allowed. Saving blade is not allowed. So our work is to remove them. Next. ILBS multi-level screening. Nowadays, due to advancement of the security, 5-level X-ray screener has been installed. It is called inline baggage screening system, but it is not there in Tamil Nadu at any of the airport. I think it is international terminal of Chennai. It is there. Delhi it is there. Bangalore it is there. Hyderabad it is there. Mumbai it is there. So if somebody passes the baggage, if it is clear, it will directly go. If some suspicion is there, it is not operated by human being. It is self. It will go in the second level. It will stay there for only 20 seconds. If some threat is there, first 2 level is not manned by the human being. It is all computer operated. If any threat is there, it will go to 3rd level. Third where some screener will be there. He will analyze the things. If it is no threat is there, it will go in the baggage makeup area. If some threat is there, it will go for the manual checking. That is in the system. This is explosive detector. When you go at the airport, you see if you are carrying some food material like idli powder and that chutney, so everything will be a scan that looks like explosive, because explosive is also organic material. So what will the security personnel will do? They will take a swab and they will put inside. If explosive is there, they will show you. It will show that this is the explosive. This is for the registered baggage, bigger. This is explosive vapor detector. Trace detector, we have to take the trace from your baggage, and vapor detector, we will take the vapor from that, and it will work. Next, it is handheld metal detector, HHMD. The frisking is being done from that. Handheld metal detector. It works on electromagnetic field principally. You are a science student, so you might. This is walk-through metal detector or door frame metal detector. You might have seen it at the railway stations and other places also. But that doesn't work. At airport it is very advanced level. If I am carrying this one at this level, it will give indication only particular, it is divided in 8 zones. It will say in particular this zone, this person is having metal. So we need not check everything. We will just pinpoint them, this part you are having some metal, so please show. So this is 8 zones is divided. We call it multi-zone door frame metal detector. And this is body scanner. But India, we people are a little bit primitive, so we don't allow anybody to interfere in our personal matter. So So this was brought for trial at IGI airport. There was trial for 1 month, but the government of India has not given any nod to operate, because many people had some reservation. Like if you are carrying some knife, some metal is there. See, it will show here. This is the metal you are carrying. Then somebody will be watching through camera. Physically, nobody will be there. I went at John F. Kennedy Airport, New York. Nobody was there to check me. But everything, even ring, pen, everything, no metal should be there in your body. Everything you have to remove and pass through the X-ray machine, XBIS. So if somebody is carrying, like this person is carrying, it seems he is carrying newspaper. But behind the newspaper he is carrying one knife. So this body scanner, it will detect everything. So after that, physical checking will not be there. But government of India has not given a nod because of some reservation of the people. Still, it is not implemented in our country.
This is explosive trend detector I told you earlier.
This is explosive weapon detector. This is CCTV camera. Once you enter inside the airport, you remember you are under surveillance. Up to 30 days. Once you enter inside, up to 30 days, your image will be there at our system. So if some mischief happens, generally we monitor also, but if some mischief happens, we see the CCTV footage in parking area. At some point, somebody has done some mischief. Then we will see the CCTV footage and we will identify the person. So you are always right from entering to the airport up to the boarding gate. You are at the watch. So be careful for doing anything. This is bomb suit. Like our BDDS people use this because if some explosive is there, somebody has to defuse it. So he has the bomb suit, but it is also not safe. It is safe up to some weight like 5 kg, 10 kg, 20 kg. After that, if weight is more, the person dies also while defusing. So this is the job of security. You have to be ready for any time to die. You are not going to leave to save you people, to save normal people.
This is a portable explosive detector. Like
if some explosive is there,
remotely we can bring it to this machine.
This is operated by remote. We can pull it out like something is inside the table or some inner case. We send it through, we control it through remote. It goes inside. It will bring it and we will take it through. So there are 4 mechanisms of explosive. That is called anti-handling, remote control, ambient, and normal battery operated. So if ambient anti-handling mechanism is there, once you pull the suitcase, it will blast. In 1984, Chennai airport, one big blast was there. One Sri Lankan minister was visiting in Sri Lankan Airlines flight. So some LTT people, they wanted to blow that minister in the aircraft. So he put one suitcase bomb. But later on he came to know that this person is not travelling in this flight. He made a call 3 times to the airport authorities that there is suitcase, brown color suitcase in the custom area. There is bomb inside that. But nobody listened to him. They said somebody is joking. The bomb exploded and 30 people died. Mostly 20 were the children. They come to see the airport, at Chennai airport. So we don't know what is the mechanism. So once we pull it, it will blast. It may blast.
We use this vehicle. These are all toolkits to defuse the bomb.
Bomb, to break the circuit, to break the cut the wire, everything.
All these
Tools are there. So this was all what we have discussed.
Now I
Now
will show you a small presentation about Trichia.
another one. If you have any doubt, you can ask anytime. Any doubt regarding aviation security or anything. Any security. Yeah, please tell.
Guru, I am Periyamudan, second year, from second year.
Yes.
I have one doubt, and my doubt is any plans to introduce robots in airport security?
No, there is no plan to introduce robot.
Why?
Not now. Robots are not
Actually, that much trained. Indian people
people learn. Till date, none of the airport robot has been introduced in any part of the world. Even in all the advanced European countries, robot has not been. We depend upon the electronic gadgets like X-ray machine, body scanners and everything. But robots, like people here, we used to say 10 times, please remove all the metallic. They will come every time. Sometimes, please remove your bed. They will remove their bed. Then again, they will be carrying mobile in their hand. They will come with mobile. Then again, we have to send back. Please put your mobile in X-ray machine. Each and every time. So here it is very difficult to implement the robot system. It is very difficult. Each and every time we have to say that please remove, please remove.
Vanakkam Guru, I am S. Gayatri, doing first year. My question is, do you think how is the modernization of Tiruchi Airport doing on?
I will tell about the development of the Tiruchi Airport.
We have Tiruchi Airport.
There are 9 airports in Tamil Nadu. Total 9 airports.
Out of which 5 airport is working well. Another 2 airport is going to start, like Salem and Tuticorin. And Hosur also is working. Trichy is the second most airport, busiest airport after Chennai in passenger wise. We have 22 flights per day. But only thing, domestic connectivity is very low. Very low, only 4 flights are there. Now, new terminal building is coming. I have told your bosses also, they can make a field trip to the airport. You all can come and see the airport. During the field visit, you can come. I will arrange everything. Just you have to send one mail to me. We can arrange some field visit. So we have, Government of India has sanctioned 800 crore for the expansion of the new terminal building. This terminal building,
like passenger building, but
built in
2009 for the 600 passenger
every day.
Nowadays, more than 3,000
Passenger per day is traveling. So 5
times more we are accommodating.
what will happen? You have to wait for in queue for hours to get through all the procedures. So
Coming 3 years,
Trichy Airport will be a state-of-art airport. You imagine 800 crore airport has come for the Trichy Airport. And nowadays connectivity for
Mumbai and Delhi is starting from 25th. From Bangalore it is going to start from September or October. Indigo is coming. Another 2 jet or other airlines are also coming. In coming 5 years, Trichy Airport will be in different set.
What is the biggest threat that you have faced at Trichy Airport in your service?
Trichy Airport actually nowadays there is no threat.
Trichy Airport was
Declared sensitive
only because of the LTT figure.
This
was the biggest threat. But every day
something will happen. Somebody will try to enter inside, somebody will be carrying weapons. And such because after CISF came at the airport, no single incident has happened at the Indian airport. Not a single incident. We have 291 soldiers here at the Trichy airport. I am commander, 300 people, and we have resurveyed because it was done in 2009 only. So we have resurveyed the manpower. If it is approved by government, will be 360. Yeah. So no such thing, but only LTT sleeper cells are there. And if you see, the terrorists, they don't do anything. They will attack. They will study for years and years. They will see Delhi airport. They are very alert and introduce all the equipment. And Trichy airport, people are complacent. They are satisfied that nothing will happen here. They will attack at this airport only. So alertness level is aviation operates on zero error. If train accident happens, 1 or 2 bogie it may derail or something, 10-20 people will die. With the aircraft crashes, nobody has chance to survive. Nobody. We have recently one crash in Bangalore, I think last crash. Recently Nepal airport, Kathmandu airport, when aircraft from Bangladesh, it crashed. There was miscommunication between ATC and commander. There were 2 sides, 2 ends of the runway is there. One end is this side and another end is that side. So there is mark. This is the 9 side, this is the 27 side. Technically. So the ATC will tell pilot, commander, you land through 27 side. So at Kathmandu airport, the runway was 02 and 20. So ATC told pilot, commander, you land from 20 side. The commander understood 02 side. She asked whether I have to land from 20. ATC said no, you land from 20, not 02. You land from 20. In the time it landed and went into the football ground. And 47-45 people died. So aviation run zero error. There should not be any error.
I am Rajesh Puri. I am doing second year. Sir,
Have you committed any anti-hijacking operations? எப்ப விமானத்துறை வந்து இந்த படத்தை
We have not done any real anti-hijacking situation. But every year there is mandatory for all the airports that we carry one real-time anti-hijacking mock exercise. This mock exercise, mock drill, every year. This year also we have conducted in the September. So what we do, we cannot use the aircraft as an hijacked aircraft. It is prohibited by Government of India. Once this exercise was done in the real aircraft, there was panic. Media was not informed, and they told that one flight from Ahmedabad to Delhi had been hijacked. And there was internationally big panic. There was big panic. So now we have been directed not to use any aircraft. We take one bus and we make some from our side hijackers, and we do like truly everything to make all the agencies understand what is the importance, what is their role, what should be done in that. Every year one anti-hijacking mock exercise is compulsory. Every year, but not really. Because we came in 24 February 2000. After that, no hijacking has come at the airport. Thank you. Yeah.
I'm Arashia. What about political interference in airport security?
So political interference is everywhere in our country. In India, the single person is he dominates, not the system prevails in India. Lot of political interference there. Lot of political interference is there. Everywhere it is there. In all parts, not only in nation security, everywhere political interference is there. And if chief minister comes, 300-400 people come to receive him, and everybody is trying to enter inside. We have to do the and everything, push and pull. So everything happens. Political interference. But as we are from center, we are not under a state government or chief minister, so we can resist somehow. If a state police is there, they cannot resist. We resist somehow. This is the Trichy airport. I will show you. See, this is the Trichy airport. Yes, sir. This is the Pudukkottai highway. My voice is loud because I am trained to speak loudly. In training now we are trained to speak loudly. Last person, am I audible? Audible na? Yeah. So this is Pudukkottai highway. This is Pudukkottai highway. Goes to Rameswaram, and this is the airport. You come at the city side. This is the terminal building. You come this side. You show your identity and enter inside the airport. And all this is the passengers building where you enter inside. Next.
Good morning, sir. I am Gandhi, first year in mathematics. How did you technologically change in aviation security?
We are changing every day. We are changing. Earlier, last 10 years back, when I joined aviation, the X-ray machines were very primitive, very primitive. Nowadays, 3-dimensional X-ray machine has come. Earlier, we were putting baggage like that. X-ray generation was from only one side. Nowadays, X-ray generation is from 3 sides, so we can have 3-dimensional image of baggage. Apart from that, CCTV camera is there. Perimeter intrusion system is there. Modern airports, we don't deploy manpower. There is perimeter intrusion detection system. If somebody jumps inside the building, there will be alarm with CCTV, and it will show that in this area somebody has jumped. If somebody leaves the baggage, there will be alarm that this baggage has been left here. So all the technology is there. Technology we are very advancing. Some few things are there because we are not so rich country and we have huge population to cater, but we are changing gradually. Last 10 years we have changed a lot. Because of technology, I showed you all the equipment like explosive phase detector, vapor detector, CCTV camera, everything.
Thank you. Come.
Welcome, bro. I am Kudiyarasu Selvaraj, first grade mathematics. I am an NCC student.
And small question, which missile powerful in the world? Which missile? Missile powerful in the world?
There are many missiles. Russia is the master of all these missiles. A missile and missile defense system. Only 2 countries. Now India is also going to buy 5 missile defense systems. That is only with the Russia and America. India is going to buy 5. Only 5. Nowadays we don't have any alarm system. If China or Pakistan they fire some missile upon India, we don't have any advanced warning system. Once we buy 5 from Russia, once they start there from now, missile starts, we can block. That system is only with America and Russia now.
Okay, we have an anti-missile defense system also, theater missile. So we are also progressing. Even North Korea is also having progress. Do more research and come and tell us what is the most powerful missile. Okay.
Missile, there are different missiles. We have Agni and so many missiles. Russia is having most powerful missile. They can fire up to, recently North Korea has tested 15,000 kilometers he can fire from America. From North Korea to America he can fire. So every country, all the big countries like big powers are America, Russia, China, they have all latest missiles. Name it is very difficult to tell, but nuclear missiles are more deadly. If some missile is carrying nuclear, then it is very dangerous. Otherwise, normal missiles don't damage much.
Hello. This is the last question.
Vanakkam sir, my name is S. Vinod Kumar, doing first year. Sir, my question is, do you think the airport security has complex become during the incident?
After 9/11,
Yeah. 9/11 has changed the dimension of the aviation security. 2 incidents have changed. One incident is IC-814 had taken from Indian Airlines flight from Kathmandu to Delhi. That has changed the security scenario in the country. And after 9/11, everything has changed. I will tell you what has happened after 9/11. Earlier in flight, metal cutlery was given for snacks or whatever you were taking. After IC-814, metal cutlery has been banned. They are giving the plastic cutlery. Nowadays, government has reduced the norms after so much of security levels. So for business class people nowadays, they have started giving. Otherwise, after that, CCTV footage, all CCTV coverage was compulsory for all the airports. QRT was deployed, quick reaction team. If something happens, QRT will respond first. So all these methods have been introduced after IC-814 and 9/11.
I'm sorry.
My name is Askartik, I am doing 78. I have 3 doubts. First doubt is here in Tamil Nadu. What you think of, what you feel about Tamil Nadu and the Tamils?
I will reply one by one or I will reply all together.
Just I ask
You finish all your questions, I will reply all.
Second question is, we are now living in Tamil Nadu. You are from
Bihar.
You know Tamil, sir?
No, I don't know.
So why you are not in the left? The third question is, just I will do this after.
No, you ask, I will reply.
Third question is, how to find out the criminals, and if I am a criminal, how to investigate me?
How to identify you?
Yes, I identify and how to investigate me.
That method I will not tell because you all will be masters. That he will be with me only, but I will tell how I can identify. Okay. Go to your place. First thing, I am from Bihar. He said, how do you feel about Tamil Nadu and Tamil people? So Tamil Nadu is very good place, very good place, and Tamil people are very good. But I have one complaint from you as students. You don't come out of the Tamil Nadu. I am from Bihar and for last 19 years I am serving in different part of the country and world. But you people are not ready to leave Tamil Nadu. You want job only in Trichy or Tamil Nadu one. There your scope is very limited scope. And second, my suggestion, you learn other language. I don't know Tamil, that I will reply later on why I did not learn Tamil, but I understand 60 to 70% I understand Tamil.
Why did not I learn? Because for last 19 years I have served in 16-17 states of my country. I started from Tripura, then I have to learn Bangla. I learned Bangla there, I speak little bit Bangla. After that I came to Kolkata, same language Bangla. I come to UP, Hindi naturally I know. After that I learned French for United Nations Mission. They trained me in the French also, so I know little bit of French. After that I came to Andhra Pradesh. Then I have to learn Telugu. Then I came to Kerala, Calicut. Then I have to learn Malayalam. Then again I came Tamil Nadu. I have to learn Tamil. After that I don't know where I will go. Any part of the country I will be posted. So for me it is very difficult. In 3 years, my maximum tenure is 3 years on. I have completed 3 years, so next month I will transfer from this place. Where I will go, that I don't know. So it is not feasible for me to learn all the languages. I don't have time also. I start my life from 5:30 in the morning until 11:30 or 12 o'clock in the night. Sometime in the nights also in contingency I have to come. For last 19 years, my friend, I have not celebrated any of the festival. I have celebrated your festival only. So you know Holi. But Trichy there is no Holi. You know Dasara. You know? But there is no Dasara. And Deepavali. Deepavali here it is celebrated in very grand manner, but it is different from North India. It is very different. So for last 19 years, I have not celebrated any festival. Wherever I go, I become part and parcel of that place. So I celebrate Pongal and Onam. What was your third question? Terrorist, yeah. Yeah, if you come at the airport with something wrong, and unless and until you are very trained, you will be little bit apprehensive. Someday if you come late at the night after some party or something like that, and you will not inform your parents, any ill feeling will be there under you or not? If you come late, sometimes you come 11 or 12 in the night after partying at some friend's house, you will be little bit shaking. And there are two methods. If your mother or father asks or brother asks, sorry, why you are late, you will start shouting. Or you will behave in very different way. So the same thing we do. When you enter at the airport, we start watching you from the gate. What you are doing. If somebody is frequently going to the toilet, he is sweating frequently, if he is hiding something, if somebody is making a call very frequently, they think this person is wrong. And we focus on camera on you. And when you are coming to us for the security check, very politely we will talk to you. We will start talking about your family and about professor, your job, everything. Literally after half an hour we will break up. Unless and until you are very hardcore, you will come down, you will reveal yourself that this man you are learning so much. This is the way to do it. Anything? Yeah, come. What are the black box. Black box is a part of the aircraft. Whatever communication is there between ATC and pilot, that black box is the only record that find out how much altitude was crashed, what was the last word. Because the plane crashed, everybody died. Nobody is there to face the inquiry. So every conversation is recorded in the black box. Sorry, and it is made up of such a hard, material. I forgot the name of the material. If you burn it also, it will not burn, and it will be safe. If it is in water also, after 100 years also you can use that black box. So this is so much safe. That is only the evidence after the crime. That is the black box.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Any further you can ask me also. Don't go with query. But I will request you all. My sincere request is from you all. I am from Bihar and for last 19 years I am traveling all part of the world. Don't be sick for Tamil Nadu or Trichy or Tamil language. Your language is the most ancient language of the country. It is not going to vanish once you learn Hindi or English. So don't think that your language is in danger. Learn other language that will benefit you. If you learn Tamil, you can only survive in Tamil Nadu. If If you learn Hindi, you can survive in all parts of our country. If you learn English, you can survive in all over the world. So try to learn new languages. I have tried for many students to go outside as a job, but they are not ready to leave the teaching. They will work for 2,000 rupees, but they will not work for 20,000 in others. So learn other language. Be ready to leave Tamil Nadu and Trichy. Go outside. But whole country is yours. India is yours. India is ours. Not only Tamil Nadu, not only Bihar, all part of the country is ours. So be ready to move anywhere. Then your opportunity is unlimited. If you are in Tamil Nadu, opportunity is limited. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the meaningful and insightful presentation on aviation security.
May I request Ms. A. Pradeepa of First MSc Mathematics to propose a vote of thanks. Good afternoon all. On behalf of the Innovation Incubator, Nehru Memorial College, I wholeheartedly thank all those present here and all those who supported us from outside to organize this talk, Aviation Security, by Thiru Prabhat Ranjan Misra. Firstly, I thank our college president, Engineer Pon Balasubramanian, for his full support and encouragement to the Innovation Incubator of youth and being the nation keepers like Mr. Misra. Thank you very much, sir. I thank our Secretary Thiru Pon Ravichandran for his support. Thank you, sir. I wholeheartedly thank our Speaker for the day, Thiru Prabhat Ranjan Misra, Deputy Commander, Trichy Airport, for this wonderful presentation on aviation security. Your presentation gave us the inner view of the innovation security. I really motivated us to know how much efforts are put into the safeguard our nation through safe air transport. I thank our Dean, Dr. A. Prabhaharan, the man behind the Innovation Incubator which brought today's speaker to us. Without your continuous efforts, we may not have had this golden opportunity to listen to this wonderful person. My wholehearted thanks our Dean, Dr. A. Prabhaharan. Thank you, sir. I thank all the faculty members, students and non-teaching staff for the all support on us organizing the important talk today. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Let us all raise up for the national anthem.